episode 5, A Little Homecoming. And it's your boy Icon with a DC TV review for you, going over that El Penguino. And yeah, so we're still in the street after the Vic crashed and everybody. We've literally spent the last 3 episodes in current time on the show. We've spent the last 3 episodes in the same spot. But now we're getting the aftermath of everything because Penguin and Vic torched the purple car, they torched the Penguin mobile, and now that they've torched the Penguin mobile, he somehow like called his goons, and now they're trying to come up with plans because there's like, shit, I blew things with Sophia, like I blew things with the Maronis, and now everybody's coming to get us. So he comes up with his friends, and now his whole thing was he found out that the Maronis actually like stole his drugs, because, but I mean, which is weird because he told them, he was like, oh, the drug business, he's like, I did that all for you, and then he gets mad when they take it. So now he's like, I want my drugs back. He tells his goons, he's just like, oh, I got an idea, and then he shows them video of the Maroni son, the heir to the Maroni throne. Now, this guy was a complete idiot. He was all over social media talking about how he was getting tattoos. He was like, oh, the Maroni family, we're coming back strong. And then Penguin was like, Jesus Christ, this guy like wants us to jack him. So they go to the tattoo parlor. They beat his ass, like, they tie him up and everything. Penguin goes down to the prison. He talks to the Maroni. I don't know why his wife is always allowed to be with him in the prison, standing next to him like that. And then he's just like, look, we're going to trade your son, and you give me back my mushrooms. Now, here's where I'm confused, unless I missed something. If I missed something, please let me know. I thought we were going after, like, red pills from Arkham. Where did mushrooms come from? Like, when did we start to... Like, this whole thing was about some new drug, some magic drug that Sophia and her brother were supposed to come up with that they put Oz onto. And Sophia said that the drug came from Arkham. It was like some red pill or some red drug or something that they gave all the inmates in Arkham. Why are we talking about mushrooms? Like, I'm confused about why we're talking about mushrooms now. But apparently the mushrooms been a thing. And then he said how he wants his mushrooms back and he'll trade the mushrooms for the kid. So then, now that he's done this, he knows he needs to haul ass before, things come back to bite him and his. So then he tells Vic, he's like, listen, he says, shit is hot right now, so go to my mom's house and take my mom someplace safe, but don't tell me where you took her just yet. He's like, just take her somewhere where nobody will think to find her. He gets the group together, he gets all the people together, and then now they're going to go down, they're going to meet with Mrs. Maroney so they can trade the son for the mushrooms. He went to go talk to the hoes, and then when he was talking to the hoes, like the head hoe, the madam, she basically told him, she was upset because she was just like, oh, you're bringing all this heat onto my doorstep, which I agree, because every time something happens, he keeps going to her, and eventually somebody's going to figure out that he keeps hanging around her, and they're going to try to use her to get to him. And she realized that too, because towards the end, when shit was hot for him, he told her, he was like, oh, we got to go, like, like, let's get together, let's go lay low in a house somewhere. He said, Vic got a house and we're going to spend the night there. She was just like, no, she's like, I'm not going, because she's like, first of all, I'll only slow you down, and two, you're putting too much heat on me. So it's like, if I'm seen walking around with you while people want to kill you, they're going to kill me. And then he got mad and he was just like, oh, you betrayed me. And she was just like, nah. She said, I'm still yours, but when you get your shit together, she was like, come get me. So now we're going down for the drug bust, and then when we go down for the drug bust, Penguin hands the son over, Mrs. Maroney hands over the mushrooms, and then there was a setup because somebody tried to shoot somebody. Penguin ended up shooting his way out of the whole deal, him and his goons. They got the truck, and he actually lit the Maroney kid and the wife on fire because he had him tied up and everything, but I guess there was like gasoline or something like pouring from his back, and then he lit a match and then he killed her. So he burnt the Maroney wife alive, and then he burnt the son alive, so they both gone. He took the truck, and because of how, like, once he took the truck, because the Maroney family doesn't know how to actually take care of the mushrooms, they ruined like the crop. Like all the mushrooms were kind of like withered away, like they were dying, like they were decomposing. There were 2 buckets of mushrooms that were actually good, and then Penguin got pissed off because he was like, yo, we essentially did all this shit for nothing, because he was like, we can't sell like 2 buckets of mushrooms. So now he got to figure out a way now to preserve the 2 buckets of mushrooms that he has left, but then also try to figure out a way to put some more money on the table because now shit is hot and everybody trying to kill him. Sophia Falcone now, she's in the aftermath of killing her entire family. She's talking to the police, the dirty cops, and then they're just like, oh, it's kind of fishy that, the Maroney family all died except for you. And she was just like, yeah, but do you worry about how fishy things are when you're taking payments, like from the Falcone family? So, so he was just like, my bad and everything. And then, he walked away. So he put the temps on and he walked away. So then now Sophia, she's basically trying to like rebuild the empire. Now now Johnny, Johnny was being locked up where they keep all the tombs, and she basically told Johnny, she was like, I know my dad had a huge supply of unmarked, undirty money that he kept. She was like, just give me the money and I won't kill you. So he eventually ended up folding. He cracked. He gave her the location and she took the money, but she agreed to let him have a seat at her table now that she's going to start a new family. When she starts the new family, she used her mother's maiden name. I forgot. Like, I kept saying the name like over and over and over in my head, and I still forgot it like when we got here. But, she's starting a new family. She's going by her mother's maiden name. And she told all the grunts that work for, the Falcones, she basically told them, she was just like, none of you were made men. She said, none of you were important. None of you were like assets to the family. She said, you're all just pawns and you're cannon fodder. And she said, that's not right, because you're on the front lines. Like, you're the ones that kill yourselves. You're the ones that break your backs, to make sure that the family has money, and none of that money goes in your pocket. So she took the money that she got from her dad, because remember, homeboy gave up the location. So she took the money that she stole from her dad's unmarked grave, and she paid those guys for their loyalty. She said, if you stick with me, I'll actually treat you with respect. And she's like, I'll give you money, and we'll go stop the Maroni family, and then we'll put an end to this family war once and for all. Johnny he was like, oh, what are you doing, Miss Falcone? He's like, don't do that shit. And then she got mad and she popped him, because you ain't supposed to talk back. So, and then it come to find out, like, he's like her cousin, like her second cousin, because her mother was his cousin. So I'm just like, damn. So the guy that you just murked was like your first or second cousin, and then you're like half sisters with Catwoman. I'm like, Sophia Falcone is like the center of all the attention, like here in Gotham, which is crazy. And then after she ended up buying, the affections of the pawns of the family, she then went to go like try to broker peace between the Falcones, or her new maiden name, what she's calling the Giovannis, something like that. She's like, she's going to try to like broker peace between that family and the Maroni family. Now, Penguin also paid a guard to try to kill Maroni. So he went in his cell and he stabbed him. He actually stabbed him with the knife, but Maroni didn't die. And then he ended up getting the better of the cop, and then he used the cop's keys to get himself out of prison. So he was hiding in his safe house. Sophia showed up to his safe house, and then she was just like, look, she's like, I'm not going to kill you. She said that my dad always thought you were sentimental, but she said at the end of the day, you probably had it figured out. And she said, I want us to team up together, and the two of us together, we can kill Oz. Because everybody calls him Oz. And then because like Oz killed like his wife and his son, of course he was willing to make that deal. So now the Maroni family and the Giovanni, the Giacoli, whatever, I forgot the name, like whatever her mother's maiden name was, that family and the Maroni family, they're going to come together now and try to come up with this new big thing so they can take down the Penguin. So Vic, he takes Penguin's mother to his old neighborhood. And he said that this is the last place anybody would ever think to look for his mom, obviously because they're in the hood. And the Maroni family, the Falcones, or the Giovannis or whoever, he's like, they ain't coming to the hood. So, that was like the one place untouched by any mob, even like the Chinese, like they weren't there either. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, shit. I was like, Penguin could actually just take over this neighborhood and like turn this neighborhood into his own empire. And I think that's what he's going to end up doing, because when they had Vic took the mom, to like some empty apartment. She didn't like the apartment. Penguin ended up showing up, and then he told his mother, he was like, yo, I'm gonna take care of you. And then she was like, you can't even take care of yourself. And then he was just like, I'll show you, Ma. And then he was talking to Vic, and then he was telling Vic about stories about, because he said he used to live in the neighborhood, which was crazy. But he said when he used to live in the neighborhood, him and his friends used to run in like the underground tunnels where the trains were. And then that's when he got the idea. So him and Vic went down into the subway system. They found one of those hidden caverns, secret rooms, whatever. And he said that it has just the right amount of moisture for him to grow mushrooms. So they're going to use the mushrooms that they have to grow more, but they're going to grow them basically in the black neighborhood. But because he grew up in that neighborhood, for him it was a homecoming. So now Penguin and Vic are in the mushroom business. Sophia has teamed up, with the Maronis, and they're all coming after Penguin. I don't know what's going on. I still don't know what happened to the red drug that we were selling originally, but thank you for tuning in, because that's how the episode ended. So now, yeah, like I said, I don't know how we got into shroom territory, but I like the fact that first it was like Penguin and Sophia versus the other families. It was like Oswald versus like, both families. Now we're getting like Sophia and Maroni versus Penguin. So I like the dynamic and the thing. Like, it was very cool. It was very, I mean, this is episode 5, so I think we got about like 3 more episodes to go. I just want to see how the final shootout happens and what happened, like how everything concludes. But share your questions, comments, and concerns down below, and we will continue to talk about it. Check me out all over social media. Check me out on X. Check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns. Let me know what you thought about this particular episode of The Penguin. Check out my other reviews, because I got Superman and Lois up on my channel. I got Lara Croft Tomb Raider up on my channel as well. And we're still doing Agatha all along for you Marvel fans. And I also have my video for New York Comic Con, which should be live by the time you see this one. So until next time, guys, for some more Penguin action. Apparently you can go home again. And until then, we're out this.